So we asked, does Kyle Shanahan like Kellen Mond as much as Chris Sims does? There's reasons to think he might. They're very close friends. They see things the same way. And Chris Sims said he should, basically. It's like he's got all the tools that Shanahan would look for. This is different. This is what we like. We like Kyle Trask a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot. You like him as much as I do. I just really like Kellen Mond. That's my own.
Yeah.
That's my own thing. But we're talking Kyle Trask. I think he's a freaking baller. And what makes me laugh is guys like Mel Kiper are ranking Davis Mills ahead of Kyle Trask. Like, based on freaking what?
What?
What? Really? His 13 starts, come on, man. Like, that's a little too much. I watched Davis Mills. He's He's pretty cool. I'd like him in round 4.
Yeah.
But can we talk about Kyle Trask's credentials real quick? I mean, he played much better against Alabama this year than Justin Fields did. And he played much better against LSU last year than Trevor Lawrence did. And no one talks about Kyle Trask. So do you think this is Kyle Shanahan's a free thinker? Do you think this is his guy? He's like, all right, sleep on him. I don't care. I'll take him when I need to take him.
Well, let me show some Kyle Trask love first before I answer the question, because I am a big Kyle Trask guy, and I think people are sleeping on him. So 2019 versus LSU and 2020 versus Bama, Trask put up 62% completion, 739 total yards, 7 total touchdowns, and 2 total turnovers. Lawrence and Fields combined for 50% completion, 544 yards, total yards, that's rushing included, 2 total touchdowns, and 0 turnovers. They looked anemic against those teams. Why, if Kyle Trask is not ready to play in the NFL, or if his arm's not strong enough for the NFL, why does he seem to shine against the best teams with the most NFL talent? Somebody answer that question for me. I do think that he likes Kyle Trask. I really do think he likes Kyle Trask. I think that he fits what he's looking for perfectly. And let's look at the quarterbacks that the 49ers have or who he likes. We talk about a weak arm. I mean, Mullins does not have a very strong arm. Seems to like him okay.
Tony said, Sims said on PFF podcast today, Trask isn't even his 7th favorite quarterback.
Yep.
Sims said Mills should go in the 4th or 5th. Trask, UDFA. Well,
Trask.
Wow.
Trask, by the way, is the only quarterback. If you hear Sims talk about any other quarterback, Trask is the only one that he trashed on. Everybody else, he had good things to say, but he said bad things about Trask. Trask. That tells me he basically said that he's slow and goofy, essentially, is what he said. And that
what is Mac Jones? What is Mac Jones?
That was my question. Somebody actually asked him, between Mac Jones and Trask, what is the difference? Why are you so big on Mac Jones and not Trask? He literally said, yeah, go ahead.
You know, that's my question too. Yeah. Chris.
Yeah. He literally said, because Mac Jones is more athletic. Huh? No, Trask can actually throw when he's on the run. Have you not watched Kyle Trask play? Because when Mac Jones goes mobile and he tries to throw while he's moving out of the pocket, a lot of times he looks like he has 2 left feet. Don't talk to me about mobility and throwing on the run and looking athletic, because Mac Jones definitely does not fit that mold. Trask does a heck of a lot more than Jones does.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Anyway, so Chris Sims is wrong about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll change his opinion in a couple of weeks or a couple of months when he sees some more film. And here's what's happening. Here's what happened with Kyle Trask. He had that bad bowl game. End of story. And media guys see that and they don't want to back him. They don't want to talk about him. He's toxic because he had one bad bowl game on national television. He's a punchline. But that's not how NFL teams scout. How much weight do they put on that? Zero? Very little. He had one bad game without his guys. I mean, it was on national television. So that's why it holds so much weight in media scouts' eyes. But I feel like the same way that Kellen Mond could rise is the same way Trask would. Not because he has media buzz, but because when you really watch the tape, it's impressive.
He wasn't just missing Pitts and Tony in that game, by the way. He was missing their backups.
Everyone.
He was down his 4 top guys. He already doesn't have a run game, and he can't get protected because
Yes.
I'm not sure if any of those linemen are actually going to get drafted this year. So that's what blows my mind.
I don't think Chris Sims is doing his boy a solid. Chris Sims wants to be an NFL general manager. He said so. He wants to be right. He doesn't want to be wrong for Kyle Shanahan's sake. I mean, he's not, you know, he's not doing this for Kyle. He's doing this for him. So he wants to be right. He also put Zach Wilson #1. So he's going to be wrong about some stuff this year. Here's the way I look at it. He's on an unbelievable streak, 3-4 years in a row, and he's feeling himself a little bit too much. And he made some very big statements about Zach Wilson without probably watching 2018 or 2019. And he made some big statements about Kyle Trask without really watching much of his tape this year, I'm guessing. Although he probably said he watched every single throw. We'll see.
Kyle Trask in those 2 games against the last 2 national champions put up almost as many passing touchdowns as Wilson did in all of 2019. But that's your #1 guy, and Trask can't even sniff your top 7. I don't buy it.
I just don't understand how anyone can rank Mac Jones ahead of Kyle Trask. I think what it is people want to say they're evaluating the player, but they're really evaluating the team. And Mac Jones always won, and it looked easy for him. You know why? Because it was easy for him.
Yeah.
Because he was doing play action all freaking day, and he was faking the handoff to Najee Harris, and he had an NFL offensive line. That means something. What Kyle Trask was doing was lining up in empty formations a lot of the time. No running back, because what's the point? We suck at running. 5 wide, drop back and throw. That's really in the SEC. That's really hard. We're not even going to pretend no play action. And he wasn't like dinking and dunking from empty sets. He was going down the field. He created an explosive offense on his own. Now, he did have explosive playmakers. That's true. But he didn't have any help from the scheme the way Mac Jones did. And Mac Jones had the explosive playmakers too. I like Mac Jones, but I don't understand. No one has explained to me yet how you could put Mac Jones ahead of Kyle Trask. And I was hoping Chris Sims could explain that one to me, but he said mobility, the hell out of here.
He said 3 things, actually, and this is what makes me think that he actually didn't watch Kyle Trask. He said the mobility thing, which was a joke. He said that he had more weapons than Mac Jones. Then he followed it up and said all they did was figure out how to throw fades down the sideline over and over. Wait, what? You're saying in the SEC that all they did was throw fades down the sideline and they got away with that?
Downfield. All he just did was just kept throwing down the field.
Right. You didn't watch him. There's no way you watched him if that's what you came away with.
I don't understand why no one is giving this guy love. I mean, Mac Jones gets the hype. Mac Jones is going to go 8th to the Panthers or something. Kyle Trask is going to really curious to see which team takes him. Could be the Niners. Because to me, honestly, you compared him to Matt Ryan, there's a lot of similarities there. Yeah. Kyle, you coached Matt Ryan.
Yep.
You got to see it, man. How do you not see it?
Yep.
Absolutely. I think he can move enough to execute the bootlegs.
He absolutely can. He did it in college. He did it in college with no offensive line and no run game.
What he can do from empty formations is beautiful because that's the NFL now. A lot of spread out empty formations. And the way he can throw the ball down the field is exactly what this team has been missing. You know, I mean, you think Kellen Mond can do it because he has a strong arm, but he didn't have the playmakers. So if you give him Kittle and Ayuk and Debo, yeah, well, it's a projection. With Kyle Trask, turn on any game, it's like, wow, 3rd and 8, 20-yard pass. 1st and 10, 30-yard pass. It's like, wow, yep. Kyle, like you can take your time moving down the field. Now let's just do it in 3 passes. He's very aggressive. And they're like, well, he doesn't put enough mustard on his throws. Like maybe he's taking a little bit of velocity off of it and throwing a very catchable ball.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yep. There's how many quarterbacks have Kaepernick's a great example of this. How many quarterbacks had a great arm with high velocity, but could never figure out how to take a little bit off? Trask throws it at many different speeds, throws a very catchable ball. I would say anticipation over velocity is more important in the NFL. And to your point of the empty backfield, he led college football as far as passing yards and touchdowns with an empty backfield and 5 wide sets, which tells you that they're throwing the ball and he did it in the SEC. But his arm's not strong enough for the NFL. So keep thinking
Oh,
that.
but his receivers were too good. But Mac Jones weren't.
Right.
It's like, okay, man, he had NFL receivers at Florida. He's going to have NFL receivers in the NFL. He knows he can operate without the benefit of play action. I mean, Kirk Cousins can't. How many quarterbacks who can't even move can do that? Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, like the Hall of Famers. Everyone else needs play action. Everyone else needs Kyle Shanahan. And from Shanahan's perspective, it's like, well, look, I can make any quarterback better with play action. Play action makes every quarterback better. But you can't call play action on 3rd and 8. You can't do it all the time. Sometimes I'm going to need a guy who can just drop back and beat a defense when they know he's throwing in. No one did that more than Kyle Trask. No one. Other than like Joe Burrow the year before.
Vish made a point on your show Monday where he said that Tony is the guy that he has a crush on, but he also doesn't like Trask. And my question to that is, where the hell was Tony last year? Because all I heard about was Van Jefferson. So is Kyle Trask making these receivers, or are they making him? Because Kyle Pitts is legit. These receivers, Jefferson and then Tony, you got to wonder. You got to wonder.
I mean, Van Jefferson went in the 2nd round.
Yep.
He went in the 2nd round to the Rams and did nothing. He got there and looked kind of slow, kind of ordinary. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, I guess maybe that was Kyle Trask. Kadarius Toney, he's good. He's good. But we'll see. I mean, he had how many good years at Florida? One. Yeah. So we're still on the Kyle Trask hype train. And I feel like I've done enough for Kellen Mond. Like, at this point, he needs to start paying me. So enough. I'm going to go back on the – when I tried during the season, it just didn't work. I feel like I was hurting Kyle Trask. And then we come back around now and point out that there is no good reason to rank Mac Jones above Kyle Trask. There is no good reason. And if someone has one, I'm waiting to hear it.
So, next Thursday, Mond, I expect a $2.99 tip.
Waruna says, what if Wilson to Saints, Breeze to Seattle, Taysom Hill to Bears, Mitchell Trubisky to Washington? I don't know. It's very creative. I can't wait for the little quarterback carousel this offseason. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me neither. I just don't see how the Saints, who, by the way, the new cap just came out and they're still like $63 million over.
Yeah.
I don't know how they trade for Wilson.
No, they're one of the teams that needs a rookie quarterback. They're one of the teams that could draft Kyle Trask while no one's talking.
Mond.
No one's talking about it. Or Mond,
I wasn't
absolutely.
thinking about them with Mond until you said it last week. That was a brilliant spot.
Well, yeah, thanks. But every time I say his name, his stock goes – Not
well, now he's 12.
Day.
So next week he might be going 1 to the Jags.
I still think he's a better prospect than Mac Jones. But what do I know?